Okay, I should be live, and let me update my local repository. It's been a while. All right, so today should be day 24. Let me make sure I have that listed properly. Yep, day 24. Oh, I just have to edit. Okay, so day 24, 100 days of a mouth. Today I'm going to be building my Dockerfile for my project that I'm building. So first things first, list out all the dependencies that I'm going to be using, create the Dockerfile to create the image. It's going to be a very simple Docker image. I'm probably going to just install the dependencies for now, and that would be the most of the Dockerfile, because this is only for development. Next, build a Docker image and test out the container. So hopefully I'll be able to finish all of that today, and for tomorrow we'll plan things out at the end of the stream. Okay, so first things first, I have to create my requirements.txt. So when I do fill in my Docker file, which I'm going to create right now, and for the Docker file, what I'm going to do is use a similar template to what I did before. I think with the Streamlit deployment, I believe. I have to check where, or was it the Flask deployment? Okay, here we go. So it's a very simple Docker file. I'm going to use the Python 3.7 as the base Docker file. Copy in the current directory. I'll skip out exposing ports and specify the work directory, and yeah, pip install requirements.txt. And not include this. I'm not going to be running any files. The Docker image is basically just going to be very plain. It's just a development Docker image. And I wonder if I can like add multiple named Docker files or something. How do I have multiple Docker files in one directory? I could do Dockerfile dot and something. or I have multiple directories. And there's a Docker compose YAML. Let me check ML ops. I think he has only one. Where's his Docker file? It's probably somewhere here. Yeah, he has only one Docker file in the root directory. But I want multiple just because I want one for development, one for running the app, and one for API maybe. I don't understand what is Docker compose. What? Okay, so renaming it in that format loses syntax highlighting, which is kind of annoying. Not a great deal breaker, but sometimes it's pretty annoying. So another way is to have multiple folders and have the Docker Compose outside of the directory, outside of the Docker directory. And here the Docker Compose YAML has the different services, which is web, DB, Redis. And then you can compose, Docker Compose up -d will create and start all containers in the background. Create and start all containers in the background. But how is this a container? It's just a Docker file. It should be used to create an image, if I'm not wrong. In case you need files from previous folders. When building Docker. Okay, so this is if I need files. So for example, if I need like requirements.txt, I'd have to include the context, I believe. Hmm. I'm a little confused with the compose YML file. What is this build? Here it's a dot. I guess if you have the Docker file in a specific directory, this is how you would specify it. Yeah, this defines where the Docker file is. Ports, what ports you want to publish. And then I don't know what this is. think volume specifies like what you're attaching to the Docker container. Okay, I think I have enough information to get something started. So first, in the root, I'm going to be creating the Docker Compose YAML. What's version here? Is it Python version or? I need more documentation on this. Oh, here we go. Version 3 and version 2. Well, what is this? I guess it's just the Docker version. The latest is 3.8 or 3.9. Does it really matter? I think I'll just put like 3.8 for the version. Let me save this file as I also need to add a .git ignore. No, that did not go where I wanted to go. Okay, cool. All right. Services. Oh, so okay, this is just another service. All right. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to have something called like development. So I'm going to call it dev. So build, I'm going to have to specify the location where it would be in the Docker container under dev. Ports, I don't need to publish any ports, but for volumes, I'm going to install everything. Docker compose volume. I want to specify volume. How do I? A single Docker compose service with volume looks like this. This is for single service, single Docker compose service. About multiple. A volume may be created directly outside the components. Docker volume create. Volumes my app. On the first invocation of Docker compose up, the volumes will be created. The same volumes will be reused on the following invocations. So when I do Docker service create, hold on. So what's the difference between Docker service and an image here? It's for defining and running multi-container Docker applications. What if I just want to run one Docker container? I'm a little confused with Docker Compose. Okay, what's the difference between Docker and Docker Compose? All right, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so a Docker file is a simple text that contains the commands a user would call to assemble an image. And Docker Compose is for defining and running multi-container Docker applications. What are multi-container Docker applications? Most applications don't run on a single component. Each component runs on its own lightweight container. And Docker plugs them together using standard network protocols. So for example, I think like a web service attached with like a backend server where you fetch like the API from the server, or the server like processes something. The container publishes on one port. The port is host 8020, publishing port 80. Front-end and back-end components, which are separate logical layers, yeah. And physically distributed components, okay. So yeah, the front end would be its own component, the back end would be its own component, and Docker Compose, I guess, runs both of them so you can test the entire application together. Okay. And they can be run together in an isolated environment. I mean, I don't even have to define Docker Compose, I guess, because what I could do is just section for now. Okay, for now, I'm just going to leave this empty because it doesn't really matter. But okay, I'll just go ahead and define the volumes anyways. I'll have the volumes as everything. Is that even how I define volume? What the heck is my app? Oh, okay, so this is inside. Okay, this isn't. I think I'm understanding what's going on here. So this would be the location of where inside the Docker container and what it would be called. And no, hold on. This says this would be the local directory. Oh, so the RW is just read-write mode. Yeah, that's what I that's what I need. So I'm gonna have to specify .nl inside would be something like dev. I guess. I could specify it like that. Okay. So what's next? Volumes. I don't need ports. Specify the build location. Dev. And I just have to give this like a comment, I guess. All right, and then inside Docker, new folder. Oh, no. New folder. I'll call this dev. And inside dev, I'll have to create my Dockerfile now. Okay, so now we're at the Dockerfile step. What I'm going to do is just copy over whatever I have in here and get rid of all the things I don't need. I think this is... Here we go. So copy... What's the difference here? I mean, we specify volume in the Docker Compose, but do I then have to specify copy again inside of the Docker file? Here it uses config on root. What's configure on root? PHP. I don't understand. How is this used in Docker? I think this is something that I don't really understand. Probably uses PHP to copy in the directories or something. I'm not too sure. What I'm going to do is just leave it like this. Copy everything into USR app. Or just ML. Or directory specifies ML. I don't need to expose any ports. Run pip install. Yep. Would this run pip install from the root directory? Command. I don't want to run any of commands. Just want it to be a normal. Okay, so now the question is this going to run? The thing is, requirements.txt is in root directory. How do I specify that? As non-root? Let me check TensorFlow. How they did it with their Docker. Pip install. Pip install TensorFlow. But what about requirements.txt? Here we go. Python m pip install copy requirements.txt from, okay, so I have to do that. I think requirements.txt should be in the root. Yeah. All right, so that solves it. And then I can run pip install requirements.txt. Yeah. All right, so that should be good from Python 3.7. Requirements.txt and requirements.txt. I have to install TensorFlow, TFX, NumPy, Pandas, Jupyter. I have to make sure TensorFlow, whatever version, works with the GPU. So let me check out TensorFlow Docker. And look at their containers. So I think the one I was using was 2.5. I'll have to install CUDA and CUDNN. Would it just be like a better option to just base off of the TensorFlow GPU image and then go from there? What image do I have currently? TensorFlow 2.4, 2.5 GPU Jupyter. I don't want the Jupyter version. I just want the regular. It's 2.6 gigs. It's actually pretty heavy. That's because it has a CUDA and CUDA. I guess I could just use this. Okay, let's change this. Use TensorFlow as the base. Let me check out Hugging Face. Docker Hub. Tags. I want to check out the TensorFlow version that they have. Where is their TensorFlow? This is PyTorch? Oh. I need TensorFlow GPU. There we go. Tags. Let's just take out latest. Why do they have so many Arch? It's like the same thing. All the model versions are the same. Okay, I think this should be fine. Okay, copy root directory into userml, set the work directory as userml, copy requirements.txt. Oh shoot, so if I do this, they only copy like the contents in the dev folder? Because I need to copy everything from the root directory. So I think this goes actually to the root directory. Because add-ons is here. Copies it into add-ons. Copies everything into add-ons. Okay, let me just try this. Docker build, how do I specify the name? -t. Call this development. What should I call it? I call it text classifier dev. And then everything here. Repository must be lowercase. Pretty sure that is. Oh, let's see. Let's see if this runs. Full access denied for TensorFlow. Repository does not exist. Okay, how the heck do I do? Where's add-ons? How do they do it here? From Python 3.6? Let me... TensorFlow, okay, so I have to specify it like that. There we go. And that should be good. Okay, copy failed. File not found in build context or excluded by Docker ignore. Requirements.txt dot let me check. There's no requirements.txt here, so if I am copying requirements.txt, it has to be from the root, right? So when I'm running it, it should be copy requirements.txt dot python-m pip install requirements.txt. Sheesh. Where is it? Run. So run command pip install requirements.txt, copy requirements.txt. I don't understand why I'm having an issue here. Okay, so I have to specify this later. What's this directory structure here? So I would copy it first from root and then set the work directory and then copy everything into the work directory. Now let's try this. Nope, still doesn't find it. What is this here? Opt app. What is that supposed to be for me? Yeah, I use USR ML app, but I'm copying the root. Here I should be copying requirements.txt to root. Oh, but my requirements.txt is in how about this? Nope. Okay, what if I just copy and then run? Oh, what the heck just happened? Oh, cool. Okay, it just ran. Right, that's all I needed to do. Now I just have to fix the requirements.txt file. Oh wait, I could not open requirements file. No directory. Ah, that's not good. I need to clear up some of these containers, images, I mean. It could not find the file. Didn't this literally like load everything up? Mm. This sets the working directory to dev. If I copy everything into dev, it should also copy the requirements.txt that right over here. So I don't understand why. It's not like my Dockerfile is like filled. I mean, my git ignore has nothing in it. Is it because I'm using TensorFlow here? So what if I just use like Python? Nope. Okay, this should copy everything from the current directory, or is it from the root directory? Okay, so what about like previous directory? Oh, so I can build it from the parent directory. All right, so that works pretty well. Or I can set the context with Docker Compose. All right, let's try Docker Compose. Create Dockerfile, define, build and run app using Docker. Where did I build the Docker file? Bind mount. Rebuild. Oh, so it builds and runs. Okay. I mean, otherwise we can just dev failed to build. Is it because of the copy? Too sure, whatever. I'm just gonna use this. I'm going to specify the Docker files Docker dev, and this should work much better. Still nothing. Still no requirements.txt. I'm running it from root Docker dev. You can build a Docker file from the parent directory. What does the -f mean? Specify a Docker file. Okay, so if I do -f Docker container dev, and then this, -f, does it build from literally like home? Mm. Oh, do I have to specify the Dockerfile? Still nothing. Hmm. Oh, I don't know why I'm stuck on this. Oh my gosh. Requirements.txt. Did I spell it wrong? Requirements. No, I spell it wrong. So this is why they just suggest to use Docker Compose. Oh, no requirements.txt. Is the copy not working? There's like nothing here. I don't understand. I set work directory as dev. Wait, what? Removing immediate container? Okay, I'll have to continue this a later time. I'm getting way too tired. I'm not sure if I'm answering this right now. I'm gonna update README. Probably gonna continue building a Docker file. So I have to build the Docker image, troubleshoot. I don't understand why it doesn't have an HTML footer. The new sublime is pissing me off.